Welcome back to Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. If you need a roof, make sure you call Ireland Contracting. They're the best of the business. No one's better. That's why they're #1 in Pittsburgh. But they not only do roofs, they do gutters, they do siding, they do windows, they do anything you need. Call 1-800-NEW-ROOF, Ireland Contracting. Give me a call right now. We have a couple lines open on the Boards and Boards hotline. 412-575-2600 is the number. I want to hear about what you think about the Buccos, and if you're excited about tomorrow's game as much as I am, I want to see what this kid can do out there. I think this was a great acquisition. I'm really excited about this trade more than the Keller trade. I like that trade too, but I think this trade potentially is the trade to them that second wild card. So I want to see what he can do, and I want to see that. I think the fans are going to come out. I see a lot of people, like I said before, buying tickets. And I don't know if it's going to be a sellout, but I think this is what they had to do. As much as they're saying it wasn't an issue, I think they felt a lot of pressure over there to appease the fans, and they did. I think this was a good trade. I don't know. Jason Samuels just tweeted me, if the Pirates don't make the playoffs, will it be a successful season based on the trades they made? I think for sure. And I think what they might need to do, they might need to add another starting pitcher. We'll see what Keller can do next year. But I think that's what they'd have to do in the offseason. But right now I'm worried about this season. And you got Archer, you have Nova, Williams, and then you go Musgrove, Tyon. I mean, that's a good 5 right now. Let's see if that's enough to get him to the postseason. Let's go out to the phone lines. We got Joe out in Penn Hills. How you doing, Joe?
Hey, Richie. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for calling.
Good. Listen, I don't want to throw a wrench into our excitement because that was really 2 great deals. But
yeah.
I'm not
Go ahead, throw one. You know, I'm
not a hurdle man. I've watched him over the last years, even the year we won '98. He makes lineups sometimes. Like last night was a real strong game. It was even as heavy game tomorrow because if we win, we were 5 out, not 7. He has 3 guys, and he goes for that right left, which I don't believe in that. He had Luplow under 200, Osuda over 200, and my buddy, but too bad he just shouldn't be playing anymore, Rodriguez, 160. And they went 0 for 12. I mean, Frazier could have played left for a while because he can hit contact. Moran definitely can hit lefties. And Freeze.
And why is Luplow leading off? Come on.
I don't understand hurdles.
Yeah.
He irritates me so bad when he does that. Like, there's no urgency. He really bothers me. He shouldn't be our manager, and he blows more games with stupidity like last night. Can you explain to me the logic why he put 3 under 200 hitters? I've never seen in the majors before, Richie, and I'm 74 years old, and I'm a diehard, but you know what I did? I turned the TV off when I seen the lineup, said, "Hon, I'm going to bed. They're going to get shut out tonight," because I knew they weren't going to score. They got
they didn't get shut out,
And I feel bad being that way, but I can't handle his managing, and you can't put these guys in.
You know what? You know what, Joe? I appreciate the call. I am a Hurdle guy. I like the guy. He's a nice guy. I think he's a good guy. I think he's a good guy for this team. He's a motivating guy. I do question some things, like yesterday, for example. I mean, how do you put 3 guys in there? I see he has some limitations, a lot of limitations he has with this lineup. And he felt that he needed to give Josh Harrison a day off, and that's why Sean Rod was playing. But, hey, to what you said, you could have put in there. I don't understand why Jordan Luplow is leading off the game. The guy should be batting 8th or something. You know, you want one of your best hitters leading off. He's going to get an extra at-bat. You would think that's the philosophy of a leadoff hitter or your 2-hitter or your 3-hitter. Those guys are going to get more at-bats than 4, 5, 6 all the way down. So put Jordan Luplow at 8 if you got to play him in left field. Adam Frazier should have been your second baseman. Maybe he can lead off. You know, I think the love loss. I think the love for Osuna has kind of worn off. But look, they need to get Bell in the lineup. They need to get Dickerson healthy. He's going to be healthy this weekend and playing. They need to get him in the lineup. They need to get Bell healthy. Those guys were on really on a good streak, and it's a shame that at this time, when they made all these trades, that those 2 guys are out of the lineup. They need to get those guys healthy, and they need to get it soon. Hopefully Dickerson's back in the lineup this weekend. You think he is. That's what I'm hearing. Bell potentially on his way. You would think that maybe next week after this Cardinals series that Bell will be ready to go. But you got to play Osuna there. You got to get Dickerson back in left. Second base, at this point, and I'm old school when you look at it too, let me say that hurdle probably only figures into 5-6 games a year, I think, with managerial decisions. So I hate to put the blame on him. You have to blame the players. But I guess putting a lineup out like that, they got analytics, and I think sometimes the Pirates look into the analytics and research the numbers too much. Just go with your feel. Sometimes you just go with your best baseball player. If Gregory Polanco isn't hitting lefties well, he's a good bat. He's one of your best players. Take a chance. Put him in the lineup. Something like that. I agree with you. I don't understand why all three of those guys were in the lineup yesterday. I'm with you, Joe, on that one. But I don't blame Clint Hurdle. I don't put a lot of the blame on Clint Hurdle. Like I said, I don't think a lot of the losses fall on his shoulders. It falls on the players' shoulders. I mean, look at the error, Sean. Yeah, you could blame him for putting Sean Rod in there. He made an error yesterday. Kingham, you would think he'd want to prove himself, but he completely lost his mind out there and couldn't get out of the first inning with 50 pitches. And, it was over after the first inning. This game was over. They weren't coming back after that. Kingham's going to go down and try to get his mind straight, and maybe he'll come back up at some point. The guy's going to be a good pitcher, I think. But right now, for a team that's contending, Kingham's not ready to be in a rotation for a contender. All right, back out to the phone lines. Let's go out to Ken in Clearfield. How you doing, Ken?
Hey, Rich. How are you doing tonight?
Good. Thanks for calling.
Hey, thank you. I agree with Joe, the last caller, 100%, and your comments also. I was going to say the same thing. What was going on with that lineup? I understand there's guys hurt, but Frazier hits left-handers very well. Moran hits left-handers, not crazily, but he hits them. And I love the pickup of Chris Archer and also the bullpen guy. I'm going to make a prediction here, and if it comes true, I'll call you back when it's the end of the year.
Okay.
36 wins and 17 losses. They'll be 92 and 70, and that probably get them definitely a wild card. Thank you.
Yeah, Ken, I think 90 wins would get you a wild card. 36 and 17. I think that's too optimistic right now. Thanks for your call. I think that's too optimistic. If they can get in the 30 wins, I think it's good. Maybe high 80s. That's where you need to be. You're fighting with a lot of teams, so you probably need to get to 90 wins to get that number 2 wild card. But 36 and 17 would be really good down the stretch. They've shown offensively that they can put up some numbers. So I'm not worried about their offense. You got to play the same guys all the time. Now is not the time to be giving guys rest, I don't think, down this home stretch here, with 50-some games left. You don't want to give guys rest. So I think you got to go with your best lineup. I know it's not Little League, and I know it's not Legion Ball where you have to put your best players out there no matter what. And maybe sometimes you play with the matchups, but don't play with the matchups all the time. Look, I personally, if you ask me right now, I want them to get that second wild card. I don't know if it's in the cards this year. They're trying to make a run for it. I'll give them credit. I think they felt the pressure that they had to, or they would have lost a large part of their fan base. I just think there's too many teams right now, and they got to play out of their minds here down the stretch to get that second wild card. I don't think it happens this year, but I think this team's going to be really good next year, especially if they add a top-tier starting pitcher, or if a guy like Mitch Keller can be that guy. All right, I got to take a break. I'm going to get to some of these tweets and more of these phone calls coming up next, but we got to take a break right now. Back in 2 minutes.